The shimmering expanse of the Andromeda galaxy was a picture of serene beauty, but inside the Galactic Council's command center, chaos reigned. Alarms blared and holographic screens flashed red warnings as alien technicians scrambled to contain the mysterious virus crippling their fleet. In the midst of this turmoil, Counselor Varex made a desperate decision. "Contact the humans," Varex ordered, his voice cutting through the din. "We need their help." His directive was met with skeptical glances. Tarak, a senior technician with years of experience, voiced what many were thinking. "Are you sure these humans can help? Their technology is primitive compared to ours." Varex's expression was resolute. "Their ability to improvise might be exactly what we need. We have no other choice." Within hours, a human ship arrived, docking beside the stricken fleet. Jack Lawson, the leader of the human repair team, stepped out, surveying the scene with a mixture of awe and determination. Tall and rugged, Jack carried an air of quiet confidence that belied the gravity of the situation. "All right, team, let's get to work," Jack said, his voice steady. His top mechanics, Lisa and Tom, followed closely behind, their eyes wide as they took in the advanced alien technology around them. Tarek approached, his skepticism still evident. "This isn't a simple malfunction. Our systems have been compromised by a virus we've never encountered before." Jack nodded, unfazed. "We've dealt with our fair share of unknowns. Show us what we're dealing with." The initial examination of the alien systems was daunting. The complexity and sophistication were far beyond anything the humans had ever seen. Yet, Jack's team dove in with practiced efficiency, their hands moving with confident precision. "These systems are unlike anything we've seen," Lisa murmured as she examined an alien console. The touch-sensitive panels and the bioluminescent wiring were entirely foreign to her. "Exactly," Jack replied, his eyes scanning the data streams. "But the principles are the same. Tarek, can you give us a rundown of how these systems operate?" Tarek hesitated before nodding. "Our systems rely on quantum computing and bioorganic interfaces. The virus has integrated itself into our neural network, disrupting all commands." As they worked, the humans quickly adapted their approach. Using a combination of human tools and techniques, they began to find ways to interface with the alien technology. Jack's leadership shone as he coordinated efforts, balancing human ingenuity with alien sophistication. Hours turned into days, and slowly, progress was made. They identified the virus's entry points and began devising a plan to counteract it. The turning point came when Jack discovered a vulnerability the virus exploited. "If we can isolate this vulnerability, we can start to regain control," Jack explained, sketching out a plan on a holographic pad. "We'll use a hybrid approach, integrating our hardware to bypass the compromised systems." Tarak, who had been watching with growing respect, finally spoke up. "Perhaps if we reroute power through the auxiliary circuits, we could stabilize it temporarily." Jack's eyes lit up with hope. "That could work. Let's do it." As they initiated their plan, a sudden jolt rocked the command center. One of the alien ships powered down completely, sending everyone into a frenzy. "What happened?" Varex demanded, panic creeping into his voice. Jack's jaw tightened. "We must trigger a failsafe. We need to act fast or we'll lose the entire fleet." The alien fleet's command center was a hive of urgent activity. Jack Lawson's team worked tirelessly, their human tools juxtaposed against the advanced alien technology. The atmosphere was electric with tension as they fought to regain control of the fleet's systems. Lisa, engrossed in her work, paused to wipe sweat from her brow. "We're close, Jack, but this alien tech is incredibly complex. Every time we make progress, the virus counters us." Jack nodded, his eyes never leaving the holographic display. "We need to think outside the box. Our conventional methods won't cut it here." Tarek approached, his initial skepticism now replaced with a grudging respect. "Your tenacity is impressive, but we must adapt quickly. The virus is evolving." Jack glanced at him. "Agreed, we need to combine our knowledge. Your understanding of the systems and our improvisation skills." As they worked, the humans adapted their approach, using human ingenuity to interface with the alien systems. Jack's team discovered that the virus had integrated into the fleet's neural network, disrupting all commands. By isolating the virus's entry points, they could begin to regain control. Tom, one of Jack's top mechanics, called out, "Jack, I think I've found a way to bypass the compromised systems. It's a long shot, but it might just work." Jack hurried over, studying Tom's schematic. "Good work, Tom. Let's get this implemented." Tarak, watching closely, offered a suggestion. "If we reroute power through auxiliary circuits, we can stabilize the system temporarily, buying us time to implement your solution." Jack's eyes lit up. "That's exactly what we need. Let's move." The team sprang into action, working seamlessly with the alien technicians. Sparks flew and screens flickered as they rerouted power and implemented the hybrid solution. The command center buzzed with a mix of hope and desperation. As they progressed, Jack found himself admiring the alien technology more. "Your systems are incredibly advanced. We could learn a lot from each other." Tarak nodded, a hint of a smile on his usually stern face. "Indeed, this collaboration is unprecedented." Just as they were about to implement the final phase of their plan, an alarm blared, signaling a critical system failure. The main reactor was overheating, threatening to explode and take the entire fleet with it. Varex, the counselor, appeared on the main screen, his face etched with worry. "Jack, we're out of time. If the reactor goes, we lose everything." Jack's mind raced. "We need to vent the reactor core, but our access is blocked. Tarak, can you override the security protocols?" Tarak's fingers flew over his console. "I can try, but it will take a few minutes." "We don't have a few minutes," Jack replied, his voice tight with urgency. "Tom, Lisa, get to the reactor control room. We need manual override." As Tom and Lisa sprinted towards the reactor control room, the tension in the command center was palpable. Jack monitored their progress, his heart pounding. Every second felt like an eternity. Suddenly, the screens flickered, and the reactor temperature began to stabilize. Tarak had managed to override the security protocols just in time. Tom's voice crackled over the comms. "Jack, we've got control. The reactor is stable." A collective sigh of relief swept through the command center. Jack's shoulders relaxed, but he knew this was just a temporary reprieve. They still had to neutralize the virus completely. Jack Lawson stood in the command center, the tension around him palpable. The main reactor was stable, but the virus still held the fleet hostage. Each passing moment felt like an eternity as he considered their next move. "Jack, the auxiliary systems are holding, but barely," Lisa reported, her voice edged with fatigue. "We need a more permanent solution." Tarak, now fully invested in their joint effort, nodded. "If we can isolate the virus's core code, we might be able to neutralize it. But our technology alone isn't enough. We need your human ingenuity." Jack paced, his mind racing. "We need to get ahead of this thing. If we can create a decoy system, we might be able to lure the virus out and trap it." Tom, ever the practical mechanic, chimed in. "That's risky, Jack. If the virus detects the decoy, it could spread even faster." Jack met his gaze, determination in his eyes. "It's a risk we have to take. We've got no other choice." As they began constructing the decoy system, the command center buzzed with a mix of anxiety and cautious optimism. The humans and aliens worked side by side, their combined efforts creating a synergy that neither could have achieved alone. The decoy was a hybrid of human hardware and alien software, a testament to their collaboration. Varex, observing from the sidelines, approached Jack. "Your plan is bold. Do you think it will work?" Jack paused, weighing his words carefully. "It has to. We're out of options." With the decoy system in place, Jack's team prepared to activate it. Tarak adjusted the final settings, his hands steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We're ready." Jack took a deep breath. "Let's do this. Initiate the decoy." The command center fell silent as the system came online. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the virus reacted, swarming the decoy system in a frenzy. The screens lit up with activity as the virus attempted to infiltrate the decoy. "It's working," Lisa whispered, awe in her voice. "It's taking the bait." But as the virus concentrated on the decoy, a sudden spike in data flow indicated it had detected the trap. Alarms blared as the virus began to spread rapidly, attempting to infect the fleet's core systems again. Tom's voice cut through the chaos. "We've got to shut it down, Jack. Now." Jack's mind raced. If they shut down the decoy too soon, the virus would escape. Too late, and it could overwhelm their systems. "Tarak, initiate the containment protocol on my mark." Tarak's fingers hovered over the console, ready. "Ready when you are, Jack." 3, 2, 1, now. Tarak hit the command and the decoy system's containment protocol activated. The virus, now fully engaged with the decoy, found itself trapped in an isolated loop. The command center's screens flashed as the containment held, the virus unable to escape. A collective breath of relief swept through the room. Jack allowed himself a moment to smile, the first genuine one in days. "We did it. The virus is contained." But their victory was short-lived. An alarm blared, louder and more insistent than before. Tarak's eyes widened as he read the data. The virus initiated a self-destruct sequence within the fleet's core systems. "We have minutes before everything goes down." Jack Lawson's pulse raced as the self-destruct alarm echoed through the command center. The victory over the virus now seemed hollow, as a new, more imminent threat loomed. The fleet's core systems were counting down to a catastrophic failure. "Minutes?" Jack repeated, his voice steely with determination. "We've come too far to lose everything now." Tarak, his usual calm shattered, scanned the data. "We need to bypass the core security and manually override the self-destruct sequence." "It's the only way." Jack turned to his team, eyes fierce with resolve. "Lisa, Tom, you're with me. Tarak, guide us from here." As they sprinted through the narrow corridors of the alien ship, the gravity of their task weighed heavily. The air was thick with the scent of burning circuits and the metallic tang of stress. Every second mattered. Lisa's voice broke the tense silence. "Jack, what if we can't reach the core in time?" Jack glanced at her, his expression unwavering. "We have to. There's no room for doubt." They reached the central hub, a labyrinthine tangle of cables and conduits. Tom immediately began working on the access panel, his fingers moving with practiced precision. "I need a few more minutes." "We don't have a few minutes," Jack replied, urgency sharpening his tone. Tarak's voice crackled over the comms. "Jack, I'm rerouting power to give you a bit more time, but it's not much." Jack nodded, even though Tarak couldn't see him. "Do it." The hub vibrated under the strain of the fleet's failing systems. Lisa and Tom worked frantically, their breaths quick and shallow. Jack kept watch, his eyes darting between their progress and the countdown timer that relentlessly ticked away. Suddenly, Tom let out a triumphant shout. "Got it! We're in!" "Great work," Jack said, moving to the console. "Now, let's override this sequence." The display filled with alien script, the symbols rapidly changing as Jack input the commands. The system fought back, each attempt met with resistance. "Tarak, we're hitting a firewall," Jack called out, frustration seeping into his voice. "Can you disable it?" "I'll try," Tarak responded. "Hold on." Seconds stretched into agonizing minutes. The countdown continued its merciless march towards zero. Just when it seemed like all hope was lost, the firewall dropped. "Go, Jack," Tarak urged. "Now." Jack's fingers flew over the console, entering the final sequence to disable the self-destruct. The room was silent, save for the hum of the machinery and the distant wail of alarms. "Come on," Jack muttered, willing the system to comply. At last, the screen flashed green. The countdown halted with only seconds to spare. "We did it," Lisa breathed, her voice a mix of disbelief and relief. Tom slumped against the wall, exhausted but grinning. That was too close. Jack allowed himself a moment to savor their victory. "Great job, everyone. We saved the fleet." Back in the command center, the atmosphere shifted from tense to jubilant. Counselor Varex appeared on the main screen, his expression one of profound gratitude. "Jack Lawson, you and your team have done the impossible. The Galactic Council owes you a debt we can never repay." Jack smiled, the weight of their accomplishment settling in. Just doing our job, counselor. But maybe now, we can all learn a bit more from each other. Tarek approached, his respect for the humans now undeniable. Indeed, this collaboration has shown us the strength of unity. Together, we can face any challenge. As the humans and aliens began the arduous task of repairing and fortifying the fleet, a new era of cooperation dawned. The bonds forged in crisis promised a future where diversity was not just accepted but celebrated.